4日の未明にですね、もうドーハから向こうへ向かったと。で、昨日の夕方、関西空港の方に到着してですね、その後は昨日静岡にもう入っております。
I'm very happy and pleased to be here. It's been a long-term ambition of mine to work in the J League. I believe J League provides the best league in Asia, and I think one of the better and more organized leagues in the world. I've been very impressed with the management and the organization of Shimizu S-Pulse, and I share their ambition to be the champion of J League and one of the better teams in Asia. And I hope I bring the experience and the vision necessary to achieve the goals of the club. Yesterday, after a very long journey, I arrived in Shizuoka. I was very touched by a number of fans that somehow found that I was arriving, and two of the supporters brought a massive flower bouquet to me. And when I saw the tears of joy in their faces and the emotions that they showed me, I immediately felt like I was home. I was really, really touched and inspired by them, and I will do my best for them to bring them a very attractive, exciting football and the trophy that they so much desire. As I've been told, Shizuoka is very famous for green tea and strawberries. And after I tasted both, I realized why they are so famous for it. I hope Shizuoka becomes very famous for football all over the world. But thank you for coming, and I'm available for any questions you may have. I personally did a lot of research about the club. I noticed that this club is located in one of the probably the best area for the young talent in Japanese football, and it has a long history of being one of the most competitive teams in the J League. I wanted to make sure that Shimizu S-Pulse wanted to be champion, and I only want to work for a club that wants to be a champion. And when I realized that they share my passion and vision for wanting to be the best, then I realized that this is the right club for me. I want to learn more about the club and more about the Japanese players in the coming days. I've been very impressed with Japanese football, especially on a technical side. Japanese players have a very good football brain. I think Japanese football is very organized. I think if something that I can bring to Japanese football is the fact that I can bring more confidence, bring more of a winning spirit, and I think the combination of my background and experience with the quality of the Japanese players, I think we can make a fantastic marriage. And because I use a lot of technology and use a lot of images to teach my players, I also want to learn Japanese language as soon as possible. Then I think we can maybe break all the communication barriers between myself and the players and the coaching staff. But overall, my impression is very, very good on Japanese football, and I believe Japanese football belongs to be one of the top 20 teams in the world in the national and international level. My vision in football is all about organization. On a tactical level, all the players will defend from all position and attack from all position, maintaining the balance and the organization necessary to get results. But I believe professional football is for the fans. So I always believe that the team must play attractive, attacking and exciting football. And because football fans want winners, then Shimizu S-Pulse must be a winner. I saw many of the DVDs of last year's S-Pulse matches, and I think it will be unfair at this moment for me to give my impression. If you give me a couple of weeks in training and some of the exhibition matches that we'll have, I will be able to give you a more accurate impression. Last night we were at a small restaurant in Shizuoka that they offered the local green tea, and it was really the best green tea I've ever had in my life. And I lived in California, and California for many years is very famous for its strawberries. And this morning I had fresh strawberries, and I also thought that I was almost in California because the strawberries were very juicy and red and delicious. So I'm very happy to be here. I really do. I think you have the ocean, you have the mountain, you have mild weather. So I feel almost like this is the California of Japan. I think it's a great question. And it's a challenge managers and coaches are every day dealing with. What I've learned in my career as an international coach, that fans want to win immediately. But if you ever want to build something that is consistently successful, and you have to kind of balance the winning, combine it with building. So as in my philosophy in life, that I'm a student of football and life, and every day I want to learn. I want to build an atmosphere in this team that my players in every training, in every match improve and have a desire to learn. But I believe that winning is an attitude and it's a habit. So immediately I want to build that in our players and in the club, that our players learn how to win together and have a spirit to fight in every given game so they can get the right result. I think Shimizu S-Pulse has been flirting with the championship but really never getting there. And I think the reason they went abroad to bring me as the head coach and the manager of this team is because they want to win the title this year. And that must be my target, along with everyone that's working for Shimizu S-Pulse. I think the club, it was a perfect moment for Shimizu S-Pulse to, when they brought a new manager, to kind of create a change within the club. I was in the process involved with discussions with the technical staff and the GM, and my feeling is that they knew my vision, they know my philosophy, and I trust their feeling about and their knowledge about the Japanese players and the changes they've made. At the same time, they have promised me that if I see necessary in the coming months, that I can make more changes and add specific players that would make this team reach its full potential. So to answer your question, I'm aware of the changes. I'm happy with the fact that these changes have been made in the club, and I'm very excited about the new team S-Pulse will have on the field this season. I'm not sure of the exact date that I signed the contract, but it was towards the end of the J-League. And when I accepted the offer, I knew the club was interested in making some changes in the club. I did my own research, and my feeling was especially when a coach, the past coach was here for so many years, and the team had a certain selection of players that didn't achieve the goal. It was the right moment for some changes to be made in the selection of the players, and I have to trust the club that they are taking the right decisions, because I was involved in my final phase of my job in Iran and the Asian Cup. Having said that, I will have in the coming weeks, I will live with these players, I will see them every day, and we will hopefully make a team that can achieve the goals that we've set for it. Well, maybe in the coming months I'll let you judge. But in general, I think the foundation of success comes from a vision. It comes from a plan. It comes from really believing in yourself and the people around you. It comes from hard work. It comes from not only the tactical part of football, not only the psychological part of football, but it comes from and some people really have it. It's charisma and some special quality to be the right leader for a team, and bringing the best out of their selection and their team. and where the whole is greater than the sum. And I think I have shown that in my career. I've worked in 3 different leagues around the world, 3 different national teams, and wherever I've gone, I've been able to get results. There are many factors in my life. First, I think a person is very lucky if when they're very young, they realize what their passion is, and their passion and their love becomes their work. So at a very young age, I realized football was my passion and it's what I wanted to work at. At age 14, I started, as I was playing football in America, I was coaching young children. So from that age, I started already having to teach the basic skills of football and soccer. As I got older, there were many people like Mr. Steve Sampson, the national team coach of USA, Bora Milutinovic, who at that time was the coach of Mexico, later coach of USA, and 5 different World Cups. Mr. Hiddink, Mr. Pim Verbeek, Mr. Dick Advocate. So all these different people came in my life, and every one of them had different qualities and different strengths. Every one of them had a different quality and different vision and different strength. And working alongside of them, I learned a lot about management of big teams. And football has no secrets. There's 1 ball and 2 goals and 22 players. But what it has is different priorities. And one of the things I really learned from Mr. Hiddink was that he was very good at managing the people around him. He had the quality to see everything. He had the quality to almost feel and smell everything. And he had a great quality in taking the right decision at the right moment. And there was a certain charisma about him that gave confidence to people around him. And he was able to create a certain atmosphere that there was tranquility and at the same time tension and at the same time confidence. And when I worked in football all my life, there was a period in 1997 where technology started playing a bigger role in coaching football. And we started using images, and images was able to help us close the communication gap between coaching and players. So when Mr. Hiddink knew that I was one of the best in the world at this, he asked me to join him for the South Korean national team for the World Cup, because he knew that he didn't speak Korean and he had to reach the Korean players using images and using animation and using graphics. So I became almost the bridge between his ideas and the players. But I was always a football coach. It was only in that particular short period that I played a different role in his coaching staff.